Hi everyone, I will introduce you some possibilities of new Taiwanese keyboard in today's video. And I must claim I'm not forcing anyone to adopt any keyboard that I presented in this video. And many keyboard I presented in this video is just experimental. And how did Taiwanese type their language today? Taiwanese will use 帕懒一 keyboard and 星邦 I or 星邦 I keyboard. 帕懒一 is an app on your phone and 星邦 I is an app on a laptop or computer. And so basically, Taiwanese will type 北纬机 is a Romanization Taiwanese script, and they will type the English letters, so Romanization letters on this 3 row, and they will choose the tones of Taiwanese. Taiwanese have basically I think 6 tones. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tones. So they will choose the tone above the 3 row of letters. So they will select the tone in those numbers row, the number row. And if you are using 帕懒一 keyboard, you will also choose the word you will finally type in on the top of the keyboard. So here's the predicted model of this 帕懒一 keyboard. But in 信邦 I keyboard, you will possibly type the whole word, include the tones. Then you will select the final output on the letter row, on the number row. So basically, you must type the full word, then you can select the final word. So typing in Xingbang I keyboard is very, very slow, extremely slow. And so I will introduce you why Taiwanese people will type the tone on the top of the letters. Because in Taiwanese Chinese keyboard, they actually do that. So they will put their tones on the number. So it have some similarity. Maybe Taiwanese want to simulate the Taiwan's Chinese keyboards on their Taiwanese keyboard. So it will reduce some studying cost, I believe. But I don't think it's a very effective way for Taiwanese, because Taiwanese is very different from Taiwanese Chinese, and the phonology is different. So basically, in Chinese, you just have 3 elements in each word, but in Taiwanese, you will have 4 elements in each row. So in Chinese keyboard, you can put every element on this keyboard. But in Taiwanese, you cannot do that. Just like this. So this is one advantage of previous keyboard. The keyboards for tones will block the area for selecting words on the top. So in this So samples. For example, in the phone, you don't have these issues because on the phone you can add um one more row for selecting the word, so you don't have this issue. So I believe in the Taiwanese keyboard, you will possibly type even faster than Xinguang keyboard because you have those extra row, and your finger must move between the 4 rows of keys instead of 3. So if you type in the Xinguang, you will move your fingers on 4 of the row. But if you type the Taiwanese, I think you will move your finger on the 5 row. So the overall efficiency will be slowed down because you waste a lot of time in moving your fingers, sorry. And the keyboard on your phone will look either too dense or too large, depends on the size of your phone. So basically, this Taiwanese keyboard will like the half of the screen will be in half of your screen. Will use half of your screen. So the keyboard is very huge. And the keyboard on computer keyboard, selecting tones will be contradict with selecting words on the top. This issue will cause you type very slowly because you must type all the elements, include the tones, then you can select the the final output, the word. So you cannot using some skills like if you type Mandarin Chinese in China, you can simply type each of the consonants, the front consonants, and you can select. The predictive model will give you some possibilities, and this function will help you type faster. But in this Xingbang keyboard, you cannot do that. And in Palan keyboard, you can do that, but because the Palan keyboard have an extra row, and the overall inefficiency will limit the application of Taiwanese language. So, and I will give you some examples of my solution of the keyboard. So my solution is to move the tone marks from the letter row to the from the number row to the key rows to the letter rows. So I will move those tone marks to those unused letter keys. So this is my tiny Telex keyboard, first version. And it just shows a possibility. I don't mean you must apply this keyboard because I found this Taiwanese Telex keyboard, maybe it's not the most efficient because I concentrate I put all the tones on the right and left hand side. So maybe your hand will be put unevenly on the keyboard. So basically, on the Taiwanese, the Q, W, R, Y, and D, F, and Z, and X will not be used in Taiwanese language. So we can we can select any of them and any sorry any five of them as our tone marks key. So this is my first version, and this is my maybe third version. So it's Taiwanese Viet telex. The reason why I designed this Taiwanese Viet telex is because um, many Taiwanese people they have experience on Vietnamese keyboard and some Vietnamese they want to learn Taiwanese to type Taiwanese, and this Taiwanese Viet telex is simulating the Viet telex, the very popular Viet telex, and I will tell you why. And so as you can see, the S sound is for the upside marks, and the F sound is for the downside marks, and this J key is for the so low tones. In Vietnamese, it's called yao nang. It's like heavy tone, and X is for nasal tone, and R is for the yao hoi. So this tone, I don't think this tone in Vietnamese is yao hoi, but both two sound is some like rising tone. So the tone is generally rising, and they sound very similar. It sounds, and the W is for this tone because in Vietnamese, if you type the W, it will add one this marks on the letter A. So this keyboard looks very similar with Vietnamese keyboard, but I don't think this keyboard is very perfect because in the Taiwanese, the S sound and J sound is U sound. They not U sound. The S sound is and J sound they are existed in Taiwanese. So if you want to type um like use those predictive way to type Taiwanese, if you type the S, the system cannot recognize you whether you want to type a S sound or you want to type this tone, this tone mark, or if you type a J sound, it's also exists because in J in Taiwanese it's G. So in Vietnamese they don't have this J sound, but in Taiwanese the G sound they do exist. So these are two issues. So this keyboard is for any person who have some basis on Vietnamese. And here's my another possibility. One of my another possibility is use this way. So as you can see, I set my tone marks in this way, and it's Q, W, R, and Y. I will tell you why I want to say it in this way because in Taiwanese, the present Taiwanese keyboard is using 2, 3, and 5, and 7 and 8 to represent the tone marks. And my opinion is those four letters they just appears below those 4 or 5 keys because 7 sound and the 8 sound they didn't they are just written differently, but they represent the same thing. So they are both a very low sound in Taiwanese. And I just like move the tone marks key upside, downward, one row, downward for one row, and invent this keyboard. The reason why I do that because um, those 4 or 5 include this V shape. They are not used in Taiwanese beverage, and they are negligible for doing this job, and it will. If I choose this way, I will also reduce the studying cost of each Taiwanese because you just move change the position for one row, and I think most of Taiwanese will remember those kind of little change. And if you want to type in predictive model in this way, you can also just ignore those tone marks and just like typing like Chinese very easy and simple. And the reason why I choose the V sound to represent this tone mark because they just looks very same. They look very same. I think most people will remember it because this tone mark is a V shape. And finally, so thank you everyone, and I think the Taiwanese keyboard should have some improvement because if you want to apply your keyboard on the Apple, on the iPhone, or like on a laptop, on Microsoft, on Google, or Google Gboard, if you apply those kind of keyboards, those very complex keyboard, it's very hard to be accepted by those large companies. They didn't look like quality, so it's not very standardized. And another issue is if you apply, for example, those kind of keyboards, you will have another advantage. So you can both type Taiwanese Beijing and type the English words because they are not contradict. If you think you want to cancel the tone marks, you just double click, or double press the letter, and you will cancel the tone mark and like have the original letter. Because the reason why I see this function very important because in Vietnamese language, the Vietnamese can exchange from the Vietnamese and the English very easily. They don't need to change the keyboard, and they can type English because they just use those kind of skills. They just double type the tone marks and cancel the tone marks and have the original letters. And this, I think, if Taiwanese keyboard accepts this feature, you can make your Taiwanese language more international, and it will be a very competitive advantage of Taiwanese language with like another other language like Mandarin Chinese in Taiwan. Because as I know, if you want to type English in your Chinese keyboard, you must change your IME. But if you accept this my suggestion, you can simply very easily type English words. And if you want to like accept new boarding words in Taiwanese, it's very easy. It just costs nothing. You don't need to invent a brand new keyboard or brand new IME. And I think the most important part of the language or reviving a language is make it living. So if you can add more English boarding word in Taiwanese, the Taiwanese will have more like power, more like energy to be used or accepted by general public. And so thank you everyone.